contrary to what a lot of people believe, the United States may not be China's biggest economic rival. It might actually be India. For starters, India is on the verge of overtaking China as the world's most populous country. Now, why would China be worried about that? I mean, they have a population of over 1 billion people. Well, it's an issue for Beijing because India enjoys a demographic advantage that is far superior to China's aging population. The median age in India is roughly 10 years younger than China. And this demographic shift is taking place right at the same time when China is beginning to squander its status as the world's greatest manufacturing powerhouse thanks to the country's growing authoritarian policies. India is now positioned to become the workshop of the world. But how did India become the world's fastest growing economy in the first place? India was aligned with the Soviet Union through much of the Cold War. And despite never officially adopting Marxism or declaring itself a communist state, India's economy featured an extreme level of central planning that used Soviet-style 5-year plans for everything from manufacturing to agriculture. This combination of heavy regulation, licensing laws, government red tape, and state ownership was so notorious that it was collectively referred to as the license Raj. But here's where the Indian economic miracle kicked in. With the country's entrepreneurs drowning in a sea of red tape, India's political leaders did something remarkable starting in 1991. They actually opened up the economy. That's right, the Indian government cut tariffs and taxes, encouraged foreign investment, eliminated the license Raj, closed down many of the government agencies that had been regulating the economy into the dirt, and eventually even abolished the State Planning Commission altogether. The results of these policies have been astounding. From 1992 to 2005, foreign investment in India increased over 300%, and the country's GDP soared from just $266 billion in 1991 to over $2.3 trillion in 2018. And this is why China fears India.
I want to hear why India cannot be the next China. Share it with us.
Thanks for having me here, Rachel. The reality is that if you look at very basic primary school level math numbers, you realize that the difference between China and India is so huge that there is no hope for India to become the next China. For example, the populations of two countries are comparable, but Chinese GDP is more than 5 times the GDP of India, which means that if China grows by only the so-called only 6.3%, China is still growing by $550 per person GDP on a per capita basis, whereas India at 7.5% would grow only at about $130 on a per capita basis. So India has no hope, even in the lifetimes of my grandchildren, to catch up with China.